remember first time Doc was in Brazil. It was my first time I was interpreting as well. 1989, 1990, I don't know. Sorry, I know maybe you don't have even that age. But we were in a slum area, very poor house. And we were there and we were sharing God with the people. And then suddenly this lady, she got demon possessed. And I had never experienced that before in my life. Neither Don. And so there we were. What are we doing? Well, we face it. We face it because God is in us. Greater is the one who is in us than the one that is in the world.
Amen.
So we faced the challenge. How many challenges don't we face, or should we face in our lives? That God will show himself as great as he is. And your God will be just as great as you allow him to be in your life. If you have tests, if you have trials, if you have difficulties, if you have challenges, God will show up the way that you allow him to. If you seek him, if you depend on him, he will do it. His way. Amen?
Amen.
But we have to do it. We prayed for Dot yesterday. And I'll be praying for her other times. Because we were called to do it. We read in the Bible. And I want to apply the Bible in my life. I don't know the outcome. I don't know what's going to happen. God knows. But if I risk praying, if I risk sharing Jesus, if I risk challenging myself to do something for him, to glorify, to really glorify his name, I will grow. And I will know my God in a way I didn't know him before. And I will trust him much more. And that's the way our faith grows. Amen?
Amen.
And we can really bring God, not a chocolate cake, as lovely as it is, as much as I can I love and appreciate. I don't cook. I like eating. But what really brings God glory is to have people coming into the kingdom. Amen. And he says here in verse 6 above, if anyone does not abide in me, then is cast out, is withered, thrown into the fire, and burned. Well, we can give him many fruit. Also in verse 2 it says, we are pruned to produce more fruit. As we apply ourselves to do what the Lord has called us to, which is to glorify his name, by giving him fruit, by giving him what he wants, by giving him children, spiritual children, it will glorify the Lord. And he says he prunes us. That is, he improves our lives. He takes the imperfections. He takes what is not good. He takes what is not bringing him glory. He changes our character, our personality. We were in the class, and there were 3 letters, and I was amazed with those 3 letters: event, response, and outcome. And as we respond to the events of our lives, bring a different outcome to us. Bring a different outcome even to those around us. Amen?
Amen.
The way we do things. And as we seek God, he will perfect us. We are not perfect. We won't be perfect here on earth. But he wants to perfect us. Does God create something and just leave it? Whatever he creates for those things to grow. As ourselves as well. Doesn't matter what age you came to the Lord. He wants you to grow in him. Not only in knowing him, knowledge in your mind, but knowing him, living with him, experiencing him, Most of the time we read this word knowledge or knowing is this experience. God wants us to experience Him. And we can experience Him. Your pastor, he shares many times in Brazil how he has experienced God in his life. Through cancer, through difficulties, He has shown us. And we can live things with God so that we will have our own experiences with Him. And we won't regret them. We won't. Well, not only that, but verse 4, by this the Father is glorified. No, I think it's not that verse 4. By this the Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. So you will be my disciples. What is the evidence in my life? Because I come to church, because I sing, because I play, because I do this, because I do that. What is the evidence in my life that I am God's disciple, Jesus' disciple? If I don't do what He has called me to, I can be pleasing me, myself. I can be pleasing my pastor. I can be pleasing somebody else in the leadership of the church. But Jesus said, as we bear many fruit, that's the way we will be called His disciples. And we will be called His disciples then, because we will be like little Christs, Christians, representatives. People will see Him in us. People will see that what we do is what He did when He was here. What we do is what He has called us and told us to do. That's a disciple, isn't it? A disciple do what the disciple tells him to do. So then we will be called this. Verse 4, he says, abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. Can we bear fruit unless we depend and remain dependent on Christ? It sounds redundant, isn't it? We all know we can't. If we don't abide in the rules, we cannot do what is lawful. We cannot reach or we cannot have the outcome. So, if we want to reach people, if we want to get people to the church, and this is a beautiful church, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But it's not only this man who is bringing people to church. Each one of us should say, God, help me to do my part. Help me to do what I was called to do. Help me go out and share your word. You are alive. You are alive in me. Help me to do it. Show yourself strong to me. Reveal yourself to me. And God will do it because it's His will. And what is His will? He said, if we pray according to His will, He said He would do it. So He will do it. Verse 8, by these my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, so you will be my disciples. Think about it. If the gospel depended on you to grow, to expand, to advance, would it die after you were gone?